Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. Today's big story is a discussion regarding the Illinois Safety Act, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with the Mexican Dolls exhibit in Bloomington and new fall flavors at a local cat cafe in Peoria. Our first big local story of the day: over 3 years ago, the Safety Act added the pretrial provision. That meant the removal of cash bail and allows nonviolent offenders to be out of jail before their trial. That law has received significant criticism from GOP lawmakers, even from the President Trump himself. Jack Wazigas joins us now. Thank you so much for coming on and helping break this down.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm always happy to come on Beyond the Headlines.
Yeah, always ready to go beyond the headlines.
Always ready, yeah.
So there was a state Republican-led Zoom call. What happened? What did they talk about?
Yeah, they were really talking about the Safety Act and, the no cash bail, and a lot of them were saying that they are, based off of what they're finding, they want to see it repealed, and they want that system to come back, basically. It's, kind of taken unforeseen, circumstances of unintended consequences, I guess you could say, from what they were hoping.
So they want it repealed. They would just go back to what it was before.
Yeah, and it was, a Republican-led conversation. So yes, all of them were, for it being repealed and it changing back. And I also spoke with Sheriff Chris Watkins about it later. Mm-hmm. He said this same thing, that they've seen an uptick in retail thefts and warrant arrests. They're just seeing an uptick, and he kind of shared that same sentiment.
Right, so he's also on the same page with GOP members that he doesn't like the Safety Act. Obviously he's following the law, but he's not happy with the law.
Yeah. I mean, and the way he was saying it was, there's just been a rise lately in the last couple of years. He described the Peoria County Jail, as a revolving door. People come in, they leave, sometimes within the same day, and then even within 24 hours, they'll be arrested again. Mm-hmm. So I could totally see how that would cause some frustration amongst, law officials and, even the victims of, the victims of the people who are being let out. I can even see that frustration from them too.
Did you hear anything from the Democrat side, what they've been saying about the bill?
Yeah, we got a release from LG Sims about a month back. Talking about it, and he says, the exact opposite, that it is working and they want to see it continue.
Okay, and so what's been the impact in the Peoria County Jail?
Yeah, well, kind of like I said, Sheriff Watkins, just like I said, he described it as a revolving door, and these retail thefts, he said they're up 50% just in the last couple of years. So, it's going to be interesting to see where this unfolds and how it goes in the next year or two.
And I think it is important to mention that Republicans are in a super minority in the state. Mm-hmm. They have not a lot of movement to be actually able to basically repeal it themselves. They'll need Democrat support. Do you think GOP members could maybe get that support?
I don't know. I like to think that we could all come together and find some common ground and come to a conclusion that satisfies everyone. But realistically, no one's ever always going to be not one person is always going to be satisfied. So there's a lot of gray area in between, and like I said, I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweet. Thank you so much, Jack, for breaking
Absolutely.
That down. I know this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you were able to really tell us how it works.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, on a lighter note, I know you're a big movie guy, so what do you think about this? It's been nearly 30 years since the first Anaconda movie with Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, and Jon Voight. That's it, right? Voight, correct. So now it's being reimagined as an action comedy with Paul Rudd and Jack Black coming out this Christmas.
I am excited for this.
Really?
I'm very excited for this. I watched the trailer yesterday. I remember, I have a love of animals, right? Jaws was a big one for me. Anaconda was a big one for me growing up. So this concept of them, they're going to the Amazon to reboot the movie and they happen to find like a real big anaconda. Is what I'm seeing from the trailer.
That's a big snake.
That's a big snake.
My girlfriend would hate it. She has a phobia of
So does
snakes.
mine.
Really?
So does mine. Yeah. I'm very excited for this. It looks hilarious. Jack Black, Paul Rudd, some of my favorites.
Right, okay, some classics.
I'm always on board for a
Jack and Black was pretty good in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Which was a cinema experience, I would say.
I didn't get to see it in cinemas.
Oh,
but
really? Wow. Okay.
I have watched it, and I like him in the Jumanji films.
Oh, yes.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great in everything.
I think Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Fantastic.
He's Bowser, and they just announced
School
the
of Rock.
sequel to the Mario movie, so he'll be reprising his role in that.
Yeah,
He's got so many classics.
Yeah, he's in a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Jack. When we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Austin Feeman talking about Hispanic Heritage Month. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, where everything is awesome. Another big local story of the day, Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the culture and identities of Indigenous and Mexican people. And one artist is bringing that culture to Bloomington. WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us now from the Twin Cities newsroom with more on this art exhibit and how it's bringing the roots to Bloomington. Thanks so much for coming on, Austin. I'll ask straight away, what is the exhibit and what does it include?
The exhibit is called La Muñeca Mexicana. Now, I know I butchered that. My Spanish is not very good. But basically, it's a photo exhibit of 20 different photos of Lele dolls and their role in Mexican culture. Now, each one of these photos has a kind of a different story and a different take, and you know, it says something different about the Mexican culture. The artist Yolanda Alonso, she is an artist and she's also a journalist. She took two trips to Mexico last year and took all of these photos and wanted to bring it back and share the origins of these dolls that are made in Mexico with Bloomington Normal. All of these pictures, all 20 pictures, are of these dolls called Lele dolls. And basically they are just handmade dolls that are made in Mexico as toys, but also are based off of the people of Mexico. You know, they often are the same as, they're often wearing the same clothes as people in Mexico. Yolanda is also the owner of Latino en Blono, which is a group of Latinx people in Bloomington Normal coming together to support one another. And some of these dolls are also sold at the exhibit.
So that sounds pretty cool to me, and honestly, that is cool to hear that there's a fellow journalist along us. When and where can someone experience this exhibit?
Yeah, so this exhibit is taking place at Vortex Art Studio in downtown Bloomington. It's going to be open to the public on October 3rd, kind of like an open house style, but you can schedule an appointment to come see the exhibit up until November 8th. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Was there anything that stood out to you when you went to the exhibit? What looked really good to you?
Yeah, so a lot of the dolls there are very well made and handmade. You can tell they were made with a lot of love and a lot of culture put into them. You know, each doll represents something in Mexican or indigenous culture. Because they're wearing the same clothes and they're very colorful, and like I said earlier, they're served as toys for children, but not only as toys, they're passed down from generation to generation to teach younger children about their ancestors who lived before, who made these dolls. You know, it's a way of sharing that culture and that way of living with different people down the line of that family tree. They sell them on the streets of Mexico to different children and people, and basically, there was just a lot of culture there, and the artist and Hannah, who is an art educator who is kind of taking the charge on hosting this exhibit, they really hope that this is going to amplify the Hispanic community in Bloomington Normal.
Well, that sounds really awesome. Sounds like a really great setup, really cool dolls and paintings. And thanks so much for coming on, Austin. Really appreciate you actually being able to show this and show what's going on in Bloomington Normal. All right, well, in case you didn't know, today is National Cheeseburger Day. If you're planning out dinner, here are some deals to keep in mind. Applebee's, burgers are $3 off. Buffalo Wild Wings Rewards members can buy one and get one free. You can get a burger plus sides at Chili's for $10.99. Dairy Queen members can get a free cheeseburger if you buy at least something for at least $1. At McDonald's, use the app and get a double cheeseburger for 50 cents. Honestly, those are some pretty good details. And my favorite burger, I would probably have to say that, my favorite burger, I was in Japan. I was in Tokyo, right? Imagine this, just outside of Tokyo Station. Go to this random place. It's called New York Burger. And it was these two Japanese men that lived in New York for a while, and they found this style burger they really liked. And it was literally just caramelized onions and rosemary on the bun. They might have had some extra seasoning, but I couldn't really taste it. And you're like, rosemary on a bun? That doesn't sound very good. It was lovely. I still think about that burger all the time, and I now coat all my burgers where I actually, when I do cook at home and I cook a burger, that's what I put on. And a fun fact about our director, Zane, who is currently behind the scenes, he likes a smashed burger with cheese, lettuce, some onion, and if they have pickles, that too. The secret burger sauce as well is a must. And honestly, I am an anti-pickle guy. Hate pickles. I do not like them at all. I will stand on this hill. I will die on this hill. Pickles are not for me. Don't like them. But I don't really like sliced tomato, but I really like tomato sauce, like in a pasta. So that is like something that I'm a weird eater. Like I'm not the usual eating choice. So don't look at me as the authority. All right, we've got one more local story for you, and we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're sitting down with Josh Seaball. Welcome back for our last big local story of the day. We'll be taking a look at River Kitty Cafe's perfect fall menu. Because as we all know, the best way to celebrate fall is to curl up with a furry friend and a festive beverage. Josh Seaball joins us now to discuss all things cats and all things coffee. Thanks for coming on, Josh.
Thanks.
I want you to know ahead of time that I am allergic to cats. I just want to prelude with that. All right, so what is River Kitty Cafe?
So River Kitty Cafe is Peoria's first, and to my knowledge, only cat cafe. And what that means is, as a normal cafe, you can get, coffee, you can get chai, you can get pastries, but along with that, you can also just sit down in a closed room with over a dozen cats and kittens, and it's really relaxing, especially if you like cats.
Yeah, especially if you like cats.
Or, if you're not allergic.
And you're not allergic to them. That's like quite a theme in a lot of places across the world where you go, there's like an otter cafe or like an owl cafe. They have some ridiculous,
That sounds cute.
So with fall coming up, are they doing anything special for the season?
Yeah, so their fall menu just dropped recently. So you can get like the fall themed drinks. They've got the normal stuff like pumpkin spice and maple spice, but they're also doing something special with the cats.
Oh, okay.
So they work with other agencies to help get these cats homes. And what they're doing is later this month, they are teaming up with Peoria County Animal Protection Services to sort of cover the adoption fee. So that the fee that you would normally have to pay for adoption is waived.
Oh,
and
okay.
In October, they're going to be teaming up with someone else to its reduced fee. So that'll be happening during the fall season.
So you can get a coffee and a cat?
Yep.
At the cafe?
Not like on the same day. You do have to actually put in the
Apply.
application, but
Right.
you can pick up the cat from there.
The cafe. Okay,
Yes.
so that's kind of cool because you can have your coffee, and let's say you already have your you have your ducks in a row, you have your documents in, and then you're like, oh, I'm taking you with me, and you grab it. So all the cats come from? PCAPs?
Yeah, so they, so like I said, River Kitty works with PCAPs to foster about 20 cats and kittens at a time. And because of that, they've been open for about a year and a half now, since March of last year.
Oh, wow, okay.
Through River Kitty, they have helped adopt almost 400 cats and find them homes.
400?
Yes.
That's a lot of cats in 1 year. That's an impressive ratio.
Yeah, not by one person, though.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, of course. But my mother back down under in Australia, she helps raise foster dogs and tries to get them adopted, and is a really cute boxer. I'm hearing something from my producer, and it seems like we have an image of you with a cat. Look at you right there. Isn't that adorable?
So what happened there was, as I was doing the interview, we're in the cafe, we're in the closed room. You probably can see other cats in the background. That cat, as I was talking to the owner, who was very nice about it, that cat just jumped into my lap. It caught me off guard. I was not even paying attention to the cat. I was focusing on the interview, and that cat just kind of just jumped up into my lap. And as you can see, I'm trying my best not to like break her smile, because I love cats.
That's so sweet. Look, I could imagine that's the best thing ever. Me, as someone that's allergic to cats, cats love me. They love rubbing up against me. They love jumping up on me. They just adore me. So it's quite a struggle, but I could imagine for a cat lover, that's quite.
I mean, I love him. I got my own cat back home. His name is Hugh Catman.
Hugh Catman.
Hugh Catman. That's
a good name.
That is his official legal name.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Josh, for coming on
Of
and
course,
showing us
Cameron.
this really cute cafe and 400 cats. That's an impressive number.
Yeah, they're
Well,
great.
I've got something here. Ooh, there we go. We talked about cats, but how do you feel about bears?
Oddly enough, I think they're also adorable. Like, I mean, I know they're dangerous. They're bears. They're huge. But they're kind of cute. You know what that's saying? If not friend, why friend shaped?
Exactly. Well, more specifically, fat bears, because Alaska's biggest brown bears are back for Fat Bear Week, the online contest where fans vote for the chubbiest champ in Katmai National Park. Each fall, bears pack on the pounds by feasting on salmon to prepare for winter. This year's salmon run was especially strong, making for some seriously hefty contestants. But it's not just about having the biggest bear belly, it's a battle to name the toughest survivor. Voting kicks off with the younger bears this week, leading into the main event next week. The winner will be crowned September 30th. You can watch the bears and vote online at fatbearweek.org. There's some chunky fellas on
They
there.
are. They're really cute, though.
They are. And look, that is honestly the dream, to just be in a cool stream, eating salmon, fresh salmon from the river. That's quite hard to get in Illinois. I do miss the seafood in Australia.
Yeah, it does seem peaceful. Like, maybe it's just that's how bears are, but it looks nice just to be able to, chill in the river, in the stream, catch a fish. It looks nice, and they seem to not have a care in the world.
Yeah, they barely have no care.
Barely, huh?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com. Enjoy your week.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.